Hello everybody, my name is Raxef, and as you might have heard, the Lucid Nightmare mount, which you can see me riding, was finally uncovered yesterday by the WoW Secrets Discord group. Now, I was there right alongside them trying to figure out these puzzles, and let me just say that it was an absolutely amazing trip. Very, very difficult, but a lot of fun. Today I'm going to be doing a little guide for you, showing you where the secrets are, what some of the answers are, as well as giving you some of my methods that I use to help me during a couple of the more challenging parts. So, let's just get into it. Now, the first step, believe it or not, is actually the easiest. We just need to pick up the so-called Riddle Quest Chain. So we are right here in the heart of Dalaran, right next to the bank. And I'm just going to be flying up over here. And you go around. You go up here to this building. I'm going to go ahead and dismount. And as you enter, you notice here that there is this scroll on the right-hand side. Now, the coordinates for this building, in case you can't quite find it, are 50.5, 54.1. Now, once you're inside this building, you are going to notice this inconspicuous note. You're just simply going to go ahead and click on it. Once this clue pops up, which says it begins in the 24045, the 2104059 with a most pleasing sign. These letters will not always rhyme. Once that text appears, then you have officially started your quest. Now, I could go into all the details about how we figured out certain things. I'm going to touch on it lightly as we travel over to the destination, but I'm not going to go too deep into it because it did take a fair bit of time to uncover these clues with some of the methodologies that we used. But we have started on our riddle chain, and that is enough. So what we're going to do with this information is then go to Ulduar. So the quickest way to get here is simply go over to your portals. Since I'm Horde, I'm going to head over here to this Horde area. And what I'm just going to do is take the portal to the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. Now, once you're over here in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, you are going to simply be going up to the portal room and taking it to the Old Dalaran, which is in Northrend. Now, how we discovered that the clue was leading us to Ulduar is that the dates when unscrambled had to do with the release date of Ulduar. Now, of course, once we're in Dalaran, all we need to do is make our way over to Ulduar, so that is pretty simple on itself. It's on the map, you should be able to just fly over there. So as you can see, we made our way to XT002. I did already take the chance to down him, and after you fell this giant robot fella, all you need to do is make your way over to this heaping pile of junk, and the way that you do it can be a little difficult for some. How I got up here was simply heroic leaping. I think you can just crawl up this side, and as you can see, we have this strange lever on this head. So you're going to go ahead and pull it, and all of these lights will begin to phase in. Now, the pattern for this lights is pretty much a gear. It looks like a gear to me, which makes sense because this boss has to do with Mimiron. So I'm not going to light up all of these lights for you to show you the pattern. I'm going to go ahead and flash the answer on screen for a couple of seconds, give you a chance to pause the video and look at it and replicate it on your own. So as you can see here, we have our light bright all lit up. All I have to do is click on this last green light, and the lights will disappear and you get presented with your next clue. So be sure to run over here and click on it. Once you've done so, it says 1,000 years imprisoned, surely it wears on the mind. And this is a reference to Cthulhu slumbering in AQ40. So let's just make our way over there. And before too long, once you make your way through the winding halls of AQ40, you're going to find yourself at Cthulhu's chamber. Now, as with XT, I've already taken care of Cthulhu, so what you're going to do afterwards is you're going to go over here to this little side chamber, and instead of going up You're going to go up these stairs, and you're going to see this golden scarab. Now, as you can see, I've already solved it, so I have the note, but just to give you a hint of what you're going to be doing, you get, if you zoom all the way in, this little bejeweled type puzzle. And I find it best to just hide the UI in order to give yourself the best view. Basically, all you're going to be doing is clicking on various symbols, matching things up. There's no real clear point system that I've figured out. You know, some people say that you need to get 5 brains in a row. Some people say that you just got to keep going and it's pretty much random luck what you get. For me personally, I solved this in just a couple minutes. I'm not going to take the time to solve it again here. So let's just go ahead and bring back the UI. But once you have solved it, this little scroll is going to appear, and you're going to go ahead and click on it. And it's going to say, "Deeper than deep awaits your seat." And what that means is that we are on our way to Deepholm. So once you've made your way to Deepholm, all we're going to be doing right here is flying to this little circle where it says the crumbling depths. So you're going to be simply flying over here, and in a short while we will make our way to the deep fissure. So now that we're getting ready to enter, you can see here our position on the map. We're closer to this hole. You're going to be entering this hole here on the right, which is all big and red. And now that we're inside, we just got to follow this little tunnel. It will dismount you, but don't worry, you can go ahead and mount up, and that is actually very important for a specific reason, as you will see here in the short while. You see this worm that goes by, you do not want to get caught in it, because if you do, it will take you all the way back around to the beginning, and you definitely do not want that. So go ahead and mount up like I'm doing, along with these other fine fellows who are following me. Let's just go ahead and leap over here to make things easier. And we are going to enter into this dark fissure. So you're going to click on it, and it's going to ask you if you want to drop in there. You say sure, because we are not afraid of what lingers down here. And then you enter this deep cavern. Oh geez, there's a lot of people here. Once you enter this deep cavern, it is hard to see, but there is a chair in all of this mess. Trying to get an angle on it. Aha, I saw it briefly. There is a chair somewhere in here, and there's a plaque on the back which has a couple of lines of text, but nothing really discernible. We found out that it was an anagram for a specific NPC, and what you had to do was get the mask that NPC was wearing, and what that mask is the Shadow Weave mask. So once you have donned that mask, you're going to notice that there's a skull on this chair at some point. You know, I've got a little bit of an idea. 1 second. Alright, we have made our way to a lower population server. So, as you can see, this is the mask. It's going to be on the chair regardless, but if you are not wearing the Shadow Weave mask, I guess if you just have the Shadow Weave mask, you'll be able to interact with it. But before, it won't be interactable. Once you wear the Shadow Weave mask, it will. So you can go ahead and click on it. You're going to get these shadowy effects, and the scroll is going to appear on the ground. So, where the shaded delegate may appear, that means we are on our way to Gnomergon. Now, if you are Horde, stay tuned, because I'm going to show you a way to get to Gnomergon that is quite a bit easier. So as I've said, if you are Horde, there is a better way to get to Gnomergon. All you need to do is catch this Zeppelin, which I'm just about to miss. It's going to take you to the Gromgol base camp. And once you are there, there's going to be a portal that is on the ground, which simply teleports you to Gnomergon. So that saved me quite a bit of time, rather than flying to Undercity, flying all the way down to the Dunmorrow area and to New Tinkertown, and having to get past some guards. This way you can get to Gnomergon quite easily, and that is what we're going to do right now. So once you've made your way to Gnomergon and you go down to the launch bay and you go down this hallway, you are presented with 10 of these consoles and a plaque which reads gibberish in binary. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details about how it was discovered, what the answer was, but the answer is 12221765997. And I'm going to go ahead and flash that number up on screen for a short while, so you can go ahead and pause the video and put it in. But basically, what you're going to be doing is going to each of these consoles, putting in the correct number. As you can see, we have a lever up and lever down. When the lever goes up, the number goes up by 1, and when the lever goes down, the number goes down by 1. But we know what the answer is, so we are fine. So all we need to do left is put in the last couple of digits. And what this number is referring to is basically the damage that 3 Murloc battle pets do. And it's flipped around, and then 1 is added to every digit in that number. It was very almost surreal how this answer was discovered. I believe it was the people over on the Chinese servers who discovered this code, because all of us over here on the US and throughout Europe, we were completely stumped. As with the previous chair clue, this one was a real brain tickler. I mean, we tried sorting it through binary calculators, and people thought that it might have been a language clue rather than a numbers clue, and we were just going back and forth. I mean, it was pretty tense there for quite some time. But that is okay. We have found the answer, and we're going to be putting it in very soon. We are going to be getting our next clue. So you can see these consoles have now all closed up, and we're presented with the next note. So you're going to go ahead and open it up, and it says, games and toys are left behind when you awaken screaming. Now, this one was a little bit confusing, but shortly we figured out that it was referring to the Emerald Nightmare. And of course, where do you get to the Emerald Nightmare? The Broken Isles. So once we have made our way to the Broken Isles and Val'sharah, we are going to head over to a little hut, which is right here around this cave. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the map up. And we are going to head over to this little hut right up here. If Wraith Talon is up, you can go ahead and ignore that big bird. Once you're in here, you're going to turn to the left, and you're going to see this. It's called a Nightmare Tumor, but it looks like a bit of a heart to me. You're going to click on it, and you're going to be presented with another game. There seems to be a lot of themes of games into this riddle, but basically what this is an untangling game, and I have aggroed Wraith Talon. I will be right back. Okay, so as I was saying, we get presented with an untangling game, and as with the Bejeweled, I find it easiest if you can go ahead and hide your UI, and basically the point of this is to make sure that the lines do not cross other lines. If they do, then they are red, but if they do not, then they are blue. And you're going to be doing this for a couple different shapes. So I like to start with the one blue line and simply just follow it, and then you're going to go out as outside as you can just to make the shape. So with this guy, we're going to put this guy over here, so that's blue. And then it looks like that this guy over here should be going over here. So now you have this one blue shape, and now we're simply going to be repeating it. And it does get a little bit harder. As you can see, it's not always the easiest to know where the blue lines are, but you can get the hang of it in no time at all. And I've aggroed Wraith Talon again, but you get the gist of it. I mean, it's pretty simple. Let me go ahead and beat Wraith Talon real quickly, but it's pretty simple. You get the hang of it. With that particular game, it doesn't take you that long at all. Certainly not as long as the Bejeweled puzzle, but once you beat it, the inconspicuous note will appear, and it says, "What you seek is buried within." Now, what does that mean? That means that we're headed to Pandaria. So once you've made your way to Pandaria, you're going to head to Kunlai Summit, and we're going to be getting to a tomb right here called the Tomb of Secrets. It is located at 53.449, and this did take me a little bit of time to find because there are a lot of tombs in this area, but you no doubt will find it pretty quickly. Once you make your way in here, you're going to notice a couple of these Mogu guys. You can go ahead and walk right past them, and you're going to see this urn. You're going to go ahead and click on it. And similar with that dark fissure, it's going to ask you if you do want to go in, and you're going to say yes. Now this is going to take you to what is arguably one of the most infuriating parts of the guide, or of the riddle chain. Not the guide. I hope my guide's not infuriating. Basically, you're going to be presented with this area, and you notice if you go in these shadowed hallways, it looks like you just get put back in the same room, but boulders will be blocking your path. Not to worry though, there is a method to this. There actually are a couple methods that people have used, some which are just going in a certain direction and sticking with that heading. The method that I used, which I'm going to be showing up on the screen right now, is basically I open up an Excel spreadsheet and I just tracked what room I was in and what direction I went in to the next room, and simply going through that over and over until I had pretty much a kind of map that I could retrace my steps. And the whole point of this area that I'm going through now is you're going to be finding 5 different colored orbs and then matching them to 5 different colored runes. Now, none of them are showing for me because I have completed this particular area, and I don't believe that you can repeat it once you have completed it. I don't know if anyone's actually tried stepping foot back in here to give this temple maze another shot, because I have friends who started this the other day when the Lucid Nightmare was finally completed, and they are still stuck in this maze. And you don't want to be hearthing out of it, you don't want to be logging out of it, because it may reset your progress, it may not. We just don't know yet. So the safe bet is to really just, from the beginning, start that Excel map, like I said, and just keeping track of your movements. And it does actually look like you can redo it, because here you see these blue orbs. So once you found it, let's say I was tracking my movements to this point and I'd come across the blue rune, I could simply backtrack. Since we hadn't come across the blue rune, we're just going to keep on exploring, and you'd be tracking your movements as such. But once you do complete those 5 runes with the 5 orbs, you're going to go into another room, and it will give you a scroll, which will then point you to the final destination, which is the Karazhan Crypts. So if we're going to make our way to Karazhan, that means we need to go to the lower part of the Eastern Kingdoms. Now, some people I know, they just go to Undercity and they fly south. However, some people don't know that a quicker way is to actually take this portal in Orgrimmar to the Blasted Lands, and what you can simply do there is fly a little bit northwest, and you will be right here in the Deadwind Pass. So let's head on over there. So once you have Karazhan in sight, you can see here we are on the eastern portion. You're simply going to be flying past the tower and going down into this little crypt right here on the west side. As you can see, there are a couple of people here, well, one person at least. And all you need to do is take this route down below the crypts. Now, it is a little bit confusing, at least it was confusing for me, because I'd never really been down here to the crypts before. So I'm going to go ahead and guide you guys through it. So hopefully you can follow my steps and claim your prize. But you are pretty close. To the Lucid Nightmare. I did make a wrong turn there. Instead of going into that crypt, you're going to be going down even further into the depths until you reach this little plot of dirt. And then you're going to be making a left. And then dropping down here to the Tome of the Unrepentant. And you can see there's pretty much only one way we can go. And we're going to hang a quick right and another right, and you're going to see this bone pile. Now, it's not shown up for me because I've already claimed it, but you can see someone standing up here. You're going to simply head up this bone pile in whatever manner you can. I like to heroic leap because I'm a warrior and I can do that, but there's going to be a chest up here, and once you get here, you can claim your prize. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of the Lucid Nightmare. Well, everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this guide. I hope that you love this mount. Personally, I really like it. I think that the design is really cool. The only thing that I have to say is that it's not a flying mount, it's strictly a ground mount, so I'm going to stick to flying mounts wherever I can, but say for Argus, this is definitely going to be my default mount for the time being. In any of the new expansions where we don't have flying quite yet, it's going to be my ground mount for sure, unless something cooler comes along. But I really liked this journey of the riddles. Tensions were high at some point, but we managed to get through it. If you like this video, then of course, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to say, if you had a specific method for the maze which really worked well for you, then of course leave it in the comment section down below. And if you like my channel, you want to keep up to date with the videos that I'm creating, then of course feel free to subscribe. With that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video. See you later!